What up,
Hello,
everybody?
everyone. Thanks for
Going
joining
on?
us.
We have a special guest today.
We've got this beautiful man on a television here in the background, wondering when it's his time to talk. This is Rodrigo Chips Scharnberg. I hope I didn't mess that up too bad.
That's why
And
I use chips.
That's why I use. That's why I use Donk. And he's from Rockhead Games in Brazil, which is an indie game studio that has created several different games. The one we're going to talk about tonight is Starlit Adventures, which is currently available on iOS and Android and very well received. And you should check it out if you're interested. But more importantly, it's coming out on PlayStation 4 on April 10th, and we'll keep repeating that information. We like to start this stuff off pretty casual, and then we start hitting you with the hard questions like, what was your mom's maiden name? What was the worst thing you've ever done? That kind of stuff. Deep stuff.
Well, thank you very much, Reggie, Chewy, and Donk for having me. As you already said, I'm Chips. I'm the producer of Rockhead Games. It's an indie studio of 10 guys. Our guys from the 80s, 70s. So we obviously played a lot of games from the Atari, Nintendo, first generation of games, and that's why we have this game that looks like a console game on mobile. We have three main structures to develop Starlit Adventures. One of them is the adventure discovery. The other one is protection and innocence, and the third is humor and strange creatures. This is the basis of everything. The game itself, it's pretty much what we do best, which is prototyping. We started testing a lot of things that we thought it would look good. And as we find things that look interesting or gives a game interesting gameplay, we start building on top of this. So that's why we have so many suits, and we are always thinking about a new suit. We took from other games like Bomberman that you can see, the Mario, the Kirby, and other games that we know that people like that, and this is something that we are simply adding up to this story that is the Bo and Kiki, the Starlit Keeper, to go in this weird universe of weird creatures to bring back the stars to the starlets that are on their floating island.
Anybody in chat or anybody who frequents the show will tell you that I'm like a huge curmudgeon. Well, both Reggie and I are. We're both skeptical. We're both skeptical, crap, like really terrible people. And like at first, when Reggie sent me the game, I was like, okay, this is super simple and it's like really basic, and like I'm not going to enjoy it. And then I played, through I think like 30 of the levels or 40 of the levels and had to like kind of stop and go to bed because like there was a lot more going on in the game than I expected. It's got a really cohesive art style. I really like
I love it. Yeah, it's really
and
awesome.
It's not really my thing. I mean, like, I'm like I like to shoot people.
Thing.
It's Chu's thing for sure.
We do believe that polishing is key for any sort of product that we release. All of these elements, like if you touch something, you gotta hear something, you gotta see something happening, bubbling, wobbling, and all of this kind of stuff. Even Bo and Kiki walk cycle is something that like was made 100 times until we feel that felt right. That's why it takes so long. That's why we took 2 years to make the game.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. Like when you play the game, you can definitely tell there's a lot of care into every aspect of it. So
yeah, for sure,
it really sings when you play it. So
is the mobile version like other mobile games where you get a set of lives, and if you die, you have to wait for a life? I guess it's like a mechanic of free to play kind of game for mobile.
Actually, on the console, you don't have the lives, and we just threw it out.
Right.
We thought it would be too boring to do this kind of stuff on console, so we said, never mind. And the other games, like Archery Club, you don't even have the lives. We pretty much, it's just player versus player. It's a more hardcore game, believe it or not. I know it's cute and all that in a game, but believe me, it's the same thing as Starlit Adventures. Once you look at this, it looks simple and it's super simple to play. But once you start using the rest of the game, like the suits, or in the case of Starlit Archery Club, the cards that you have and power-ups, then the games become something else. Even for the PS4, someone is now playing the game on mobile and say, well, I already played the game on mobile, and now why would I play this on PS4? Believe me, this is a completely different game. Even if you have the same levels, the mechanics are different because now we can jump, and once you can jump, everything is a different prototype and different testing and interactions and all that. At that moment, we start developing the multiplayer, the couch co-op, which was the best idea ever, because we know that this makes the game way funnier. I don't know, we usually say that when you're playing on your own, your face should look something like this. And when you're playing with other guys, it's something like, what you're doing? What's happening?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
It's completely different. More guys you put inside of it, the crazier it becomes. At the same time, I wouldn't say easier, but you can reach other things and do other things. We even discovered from a gameplay that you can sort of fly with other suits that don't fly if you have someone flying.
I can't imagine what a 4-player co-op would be like. That would.
Well, I know.
Do I try to kill her? Or like, what do
No,
I do?
that's her job. She's gonna try to kill you.
Yeah, is it friendly fire? Because Chewie only plays games with friendly fire.
So
There's no such thing as friendly fire.
well, you got to add that because she only plays games if she can kill her teammates.
Gotta tell you, you're not the
so I had a
first one saying that.
So,
I don't know
so I
why
had a
people
question.
want to kill each other.
Yeah, you got to get hardcore mode. You got to get hardcore mode where you can kill each other.
I will say, guys, this game is harder than it looks. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was like, I'm not playing right now,
no.
and I kind of
You can
appreciate that I'm not
single
playing
player.
right now because, like I said, I
Okay,
played on
go
my
back.
phone.
I'll play it.
I
Nice.
played this on my phone first, before Chips had sent us the keys, and like I was like, oh, this game is super easy, and like it is at the very beginning, like the very first couple of levels, you're like, okay, and then
Got this.
and then you're like, you start getting greedy because you want to collect all the gems and stuff, and then it starts becoming way not easy.
Yeah.
And and then you eventually you're just like, I'm just trying to stay alive at this point. Like
Yeah.
screw all the gems. Like let's just get to the end of this level. Come on.
As you can see, me and Reggie kept dying.
Yeah, and like Chewie
Alright.
didn't kill me this time, so it was me dying authentically.
There's no friendly fire.
And also,
There's no
no.
friendly fire.
But like when you're playing co-op, it just you're in each other's way. So
Yeah, you got to use
it's
that to
kinda
your
fun.
advantage. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and like you can use that to like if you miss something, you can hop on
Oh,
each other's
God.
back.
All right, that was my bad.
Yeah, see, there she
No,
is.
because then I was expecting in a different suit that I had this. No,
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
saying. Then I had this little thingy that shot me across the room, and now I don't have that ability.
That's the boomerang suit. Yeah, now you gotta.
No,
now
you're
you
in
gotta
the
make it-
adventure suit right now.
Yeah.
You gotta get your shit together, Chew.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Okay. Anyway, let's concentrate on Chips.
What are you
How about
doing?
that?
Yeah,
Let's no, like I want to
What's
see this.
happening?
I think that we've switched
Yeah,
over now to a
like-
game demo. I want to see you beat this
Yeah.
level. I think everybody
No.
wants to see you
Are
beat
you-
this level now.
Are you still
Oh,
in?
God.
Are you still in the? Are you still in the first one?
No.
She's still on the
You-
first platform.
What is
No,
happening?
I keep sliding.
Oh my
No,
god!
let me
oh
try.
my god! This is
No,
terrible.
stop it. No, it's not terrible.
Oh.
See? He did this.
Oh
was
yeah,
Reggie.
that was me.
That was Reggie.
Oh
Wait.
my
I
god!
actually
This
have
is
more
Wait.
questions.
I gotta go back
Brilliant.
to the other one.
Okay,
I gotta go back to the other one.
Hold on.
what are
It's
you
getting,
doing?
Listen, it's getting late. I want to ask Chips before he
Oh,
goes.
okay. Now all of a sudden it's late, everybody.
I just
it's
want to
late.
ask. I
It's
have
late.
questions.
All right,
Look,
cool.
I actually
This
have
is my
questions
thing
about
right
the
here.
About the TV series. Is that okay? Did I miss that part? Because I was concentrating.
No,
hard.
We can
No,
talk about
do it up.
we can talk about the TV series.
Yeah.
man.
So
Why don't you go ahead on that since you're a
I'm gonna
resident
be the ninja.
because you're obviously not our game expert.
Okay, whatever.
It's so unfair.
Oh man! Oh, I just died too.
The same development team, right, that makes the games is also basically making the TV series, correct?
Yes
in a way?
and no. Hello?
Okay. Yes.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have a few guys that it's the same studio. Everybody can give us a hand and all that. We do have obviously some guys that are on the TV series and focus on that. I'm the one that is pretty much producing this. We do have some separations, like guys that were hired to move forward with the TV series, the guys that were hired to move forward the games. Whenever we can reallocate someone from a game to the TV series to help on a script, or someone to add a different item or a 3D object to the game or something like that. That's pretty much how it works here.
They want to know, the chat wants to know, are you going to be the voice of one of the characters in the TV show?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely
Do you do any good voices? Is a follow-up question to that.
I'm horrible with that. I have a terrible voice to myself. If I could, I would dump myself.
You have so many different things, but you said you were like 10 to 12 people.
Yeah.
And like, so that's like such a tiny team when you're supporting 2 mobile games, working on a comic book, working on a TV show, working on a PS4 release, but then you've also got all the marketing. I mean, you're here right now. It's like midnight your time. Like talking to 3 cartoon dickheads on the internet to try to like get, exposure out for your game. And so, I mean, like that's like a crazy amount. I mean, you got to have a team that's just like wearing like multiple hats.
That's at first that's true. We have a team that wear multiple hats. I'm the one that wear a couple of those. But obviously, it's not only that. Friends. The game was, as you'll see whenever you boot the game, the game was made with Rockhead Games and Webcore. That's the reason that we have this manpower to actually ship the game for PS4. We already had the code, we already knew how to do this, but at the end of the day, what we done was we made a deal with them. We didn't close a deal with a studio of 100 guys. Webcore is also a studio with 10 guys and all that. If any of the guys on chat are used to develop games for mobile, like iPhone, Android, believe me, console is another beast. You'll have like 3 months, 2 months to make this just work for them. Like the way they want, with the screens the way they want, with the colors the way they want, buttons in the right place, brand, all of that. And the process is really complicated, especially if you have a lot of items that are purchasable. You need to have a lot of forms to be made to make this work and be the right way with the right screen and all that. So it took us a lot of time, and I must say we are still working on this. The game will be released on April 10th, and there's always something that needs to be absolutely in the right place, the right way to be released the game. So
Hey, I think I've got a flow going now.
Do you?
Okay, yeah. She's got it now. She's got it.
I got it now, guys. Sorry.
I don't believe you.
I do. Now I learned the circle button, see? It does
I
that.
learned the circle button.
that's the special. That's the special.
I learned the special.
There's 4 buttons.
But you only use 3 of them for
See?
mechanics.
Fair
I
enough.
got it now,
So
guys.
that just means wait a minute, you just tried to use that as your advantage to your argument, Chew. There's 3 buttons. Chip said 3 buttons.
Look.
Yeah.
Look at
You know
me.
what?
Look at me go.
Chewy, that circle button will help in every single game now.
Well,
Now you'll know what that
Now,
circle
yeah,
button
she
is
learned.
there.
Not that she learned that the circle button works in this game, but she learned that there is a circle button.
Yeah.
Yes.
Period.
Hey, hey, I got this. I'm gonna rock this game now.
Oh man,
All right,
we're
do it
watching.
up.
We're also,
Yeah, no pressure.
You made it to the end. You didn't.
Yeah, you got that treasure.
Good job,
So
Chew.
I appreciate for you guys inviting me. It was awesome to be here tonight, and I really don't mind being here for an hour or more. It's super fun to talk to you guys.
We appreciate it.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. We have always something interesting going on there. With pretty much look for Starlit Adventures, and you'll find us everywhere. Any questions? Always throw a question on Facebook or any of our social medias. I'll answer it as soon as I can, or maybe someone from the team. There's always someone checking this and be around, no matter what happens.
I appreciate it because I'm like a super creeper, and so I kind of stalked you guys on like the Android store and the iOS store, and was like reading reviews, and I was like, yeah. So I learned. I know so much about you. I know your favorite food. I know your favorite drink. I know you're allergic to polyester. And you only do 100%
Did you
cotton
figure
bed
that?
sheets. I did my
that in
research,
there.
man. This was a light interview. Just wait for Starlit Adventures 2. That interview is going to be hard-hitting journalism. I'm gonna have. It's going to be crazy. It might start World War III.
You will have Zorak.
Oh yeah.
He'll be here. Zorak will be here for the second interview for sure. He'll definitely be here for the
I
second
was waiting
interview.
for him until now. Now I figured that he won't come.
See, the problem
He's
was
backstage.
Yeah,
He's backstage right
the
now.
The problem is that Chu had to use all of her energy to play that game, and so she wasn't able to summon Zorak.
Oh,
No.
that's
So,
a shame.
You got to make the game easier. Put an easy mode in for Chu. Yeah, and if you ever want to make a little bit of side money, Chewy's looking for a tutor to teach her how to play Starlit Adventures, and rumor has it you're number one in the world. So maybe we can make a little deal.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
And the rest of your team, thank them as well for us since they're not here. Thank you, other team people.
We'll do
Thank
that.
you, mysterious team people.
Mysterious other team people.
Thanks,
You have a
everyone.
wonderful
Thanks,
evening, and I will
Guys.
talk to everybody soon. And I got you guys on Twitter, so when I get stuck on a level, I'll be more than happy to yell and scream at you and call you terrible game designers until you tell me how to beat it.
I'll be there. No need to worry. I'll be there. I'll help you.
All right, awesome,
Awesome.
awesome.
Thank you.
Well, good night, everybody.
So much. Good night.
Good
Have a
night.
great one.